What did you feel when you first heard Vibe? The incredible chemistry between BTS Jimin and BIGBANG's Taeyang is undeniable. But did you know that this legendary collaboration almost never happened? Yes, you heard that right. Today, we're going to expose behind-the-scenes secrets that have never been revealed before. The story I'm about to share will change how you see Vibe forever. So smash that subscribe button right now and stick around until the end, because there's a plot twist that will absolutely shock you. Let's start from the very beginning. In 2022, the K-pop world was entering a new era. BTS was on hiatus to focus on their individual solo careers, while BIGBANG's Taeyang was preparing for his comeback after a long break from the music industry. What most people don't know is that the idea for this collaboration didn't actually come from either artist, but from a music producer working behind the scenes. Let's call this producer Mr. X to protect his identity. Mr. X had a very unique vision. He saw incredible potential if two different generations of K-pop could collaborate. But here's the problem. At that time, neither Jimin nor Taeyang knew each other personally. Imagine how awkward the situation was. Two superstars from different eras, with different fan bases, and possibly different expectations. Mr. X had to find a way to bring them together without making things uncomfortable. The first obstacle they faced was scheduling. And this wasn't just any ordinary obstacle, guys. This was nearly impossible to overcome. Jimin was busy preparing for his first solo album, Face, at the time. He was constantly moving between recording studios, dance rehearsals, photo shoots, and various other commitments. Meanwhile, Taeyang was also preparing his comeback with Down to Earth after a considerable hiatus. Industry insiders revealed that both artists' management teams met 5 times trying to sync their schedules. And every single time, there were conflicts. When Jimin was free, Taeyang had important schedules. When Taeyang was available, Jimin had to travel abroad for BTS commitments. What made the situation even more complicated was their different working approaches. Jimin, who was used to BTS's highly structured and detailed work system, while Taeyang, with years of experience as a soloist, had a more flexible and spontaneous way of working. There was one moment when both management teams almost gave up. This happened in the 3rd week of October 2022. The final meeting lasted 4 hours, and the result? Complete deadlock. Chapter 3. Unexpected intervention, 6 to 9 minutes. Host. This is where the story gets interesting. When everyone had almost given up, someone completely unexpected stepped in to play a crucial role in this story. Mysterious music. G-Dragon. Yes, you heard that right. BIGBANG's leader played a major role in making this Jimin and Taeyang collaboration happen. According to reliable sources, G-Dragon coincidentally met Jimin at a private industry event. They had a conversation, and G-Dragon learned that Jimin was looking for opportunities to experiment with different musical styles. G-Dragon then contacted Taeyang and said, and this is a direct quote, "Hyung, you have to meet this kid. He has something special, and if you two collaborate, it'll be something extraordinary." But here's the real plot twist. G-Dragon had actually been observing Jimin's development as a performer for a long time. He admitted that Jimin's dance style and stage presence reminded him of young Taeyang. G-Dragon saw that there could be natural chemistry if they collaborated. Finally, Jimin and Taeyang's first meeting happened at a very unexpected location. Not at a fancy studio, not at an agency office, but at a small cafe in Hongdae at 11 p.m. Why a small cafe at that hour? Because they wanted to avoid media and fans who might create various speculations. This meeting was truly top secret. What happened during that first meeting was surprising. According to testimony from someone who was there, Jimin and Taeyang immediately clicked. They spent almost 3 hours just talking about music, their passions, and each other's artistic vision. Taeyang later revealed that he was very impressed with Jimin's dedication to music and dance. Meanwhile, Jimin admitted that he had always idolized Taeyang as a complete performer. Host. But there was one very touching moment in that meeting. Taeyang talked about the pressure he felt as a soloist, about what it's like to have to prove yourself without group backing. And Jimin, who was preparing for his solo debut at the time, really related to that story. After their personal chemistry was established, the next challenge was how to combine two very different musical styles. Taeyang with his R&B and soul, Jimin with his pop and contemporary style. The The process of creating Vibe wasn't as easy as imagined. The first draft of this song was actually very different from the final version we hear now. The first draft leaned more toward pure R&B, matching Taeyang's signature sound. Host. But Jimin felt something was missing. He wanted elements that could represent him too. This is where healthy creative tension began to emerge between them. Jimin suggested adding more energetic dance pop elements in some parts. Meanwhile, Taeyang wanted to maintain the smooth R&B groove. They were stuck at this point for almost 2 weeks. The breakthrough came from a spontaneous jam session. They were taking a break from formal recording, and Jimin started freestyle dancing to the music that was playing. Taeyang saw Jimin's movements and spontaneously joined in singing with improvisation. That moment became the inspiration for the final arrangement of Vibe. They realized that the strength of this collaboration wasn't in compromise, but in harmonious contrast. When everything was starting to go smoothly, a final obstacle emerged that almost ruined everything. Label politics. Without naming specifics, there were certain parties who felt this collaboration could negatively impact each artist's image. The main concern was about how fans would receive this cross-generational collaboration. There was an emergency meeting where all stakeholders attended: BTS management, YG Entertainment, producers, and of course Jimin and Taeyang themselves. This meeting was very heated. Some parties suggested postponing this project until better timing. Others recommended drastically changing the concept. There were also suggestions to make this just a digital single without major promotion. In the middle of the increasingly heated debate, Jimin raised his hand and said something that changed everything. He said, "Music knows no generation. If we keep thinking about risks and politics, we'll never create something meaningful." Now it's time for the plot twist I promised at the beginning. Ready, guys? Because this is truly shocking. It turns out, all this time there was a third party secretly documenting this entire collaboration process. And this third party was none other than Jungkook from BTS. Yes, BTS's Magne had actually known about his Hyung's secret project from the beginning. More than that, Jungkook secretly recorded many behind-the-scenes moments between Jimin and Taeyang. Why did Jungkook do this? Because he wanted to make a surprise documentary for both Hyungs as a form of appreciation. Jungkook even learned basic video editing just for this project. What's even more surprising is that the footage Jungkook recorded later became part of the official behind-the-scenes content released by the label. So actually, many authentic moments we see in official content originated from Jungkook's personal initiative. When Vibe was finally released, the reaction from fans and the industry far exceeded everyone's expectations. This song wasn't just commercially successful, but also opened doors for more cross-generational collaborations in the K-pop industry. Many senior artists then began considering collaborations with junior artists. But the most meaningful impact was on the personal relationship between Jimin and Taeyang. They went from being complete strangers to becoming very close and often sharing advice about their respective solo careers. Taeyang even attended the private listening party for Jimin's Face album, and Jimin also provided incredible support for Taeyang's subsequent comeback. There's one quote from Jimin that's very touching about this collaboration. "Hyung taught me that being vulnerable in music is actually a strength, not a weakness." Meanwhile, Taeyang said, "Jimin reminded me why I fell in love with performing in the first place." So that's the complete story behind the collaboration that almost never happened. From impossible schedules, G-Dragon's intervention, secret meetings at Hongdae Cafe, creative differences, label politics, to Jungkook's secret documentation. What can we learn from this story? First, sometimes the best things happen when we step out of our comfort zone. Second, genuine connection between artists can create unpredictable magic. And third, persistence and passion can overcome any obstacle. The Vibe collaboration proved that music is truly a universal language that can unite different generations. And who knows, maybe there are other surprise collaborations being secretly prepared right now. Before you go, I want to ask, what do you think was the most unexpected K-pop collaboration? Comment below! And don't forget to like this video if that story surprised you. Subscribe for more exclusive K-pop content, and share with your fellow K-pop stans. See you in the next video. And remember, behind every great music, there's always an incredible story waiting to be told. Bye!